Steve Clarke is playing terrorism football when he's got Scotland captured, but only one team from Europe has captured qualification for the World Cup in 2026, and unfortunately, that team is the old enemy, England. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Football for your World Cup review show. One team qualified over the last two rounds of fixtures for the UEFA campaign qualification, and it's England. They are the Group K winners, and they become the first UEFA nation to make it to the 2026 World Cup. And just things couldn't really be any worse, could it, from a Scotland perspective? England have qualified. We're playing absolute dross football, but we could be joining them next month. Unlikely, though, because we're going to need to get a result against Greece. We're going to need to beat Denmark, and I just don't see that happening. I think we've been lucky to win both games. And luck is not something that Scotland have had over the years, so I would suggest that it will run out, and it will run out next month.
Yeah, sadly, I believe so too. Results are what matters at the end of the day, but for me, that's when you're playing against good opponents. I know next month we're playing Greece, and we've played Greece there, but when you're at home against Greece, I expect more. When you're at home against Belarus, I expect the world. Is it too much to ask, man, that we beat a team like Belarus, like 4-5-0?
I tell you what, though, Steve Clarke's got the opportunity to make it right. He played 2 games there, and we were horrible in both, but we got the wins. He can do the right thing next month, and he can actually have a go, and he can actually try and win these games. And see if we actually try and beat Greece and Denmark and we come up short, then maybe we'll respect them a bit. But I've got a feeling we're going to play the exact same way. We're not going to get the results. It's going to end in disaster. And then no matter who we get in the playoffs, we'll probably lose in that.
See, against Greece, I don't mind an absolutely brutal performance. See, as long as we get the required 1 point, because it actually doesn't matter, folks. We could win or we could draw.
Yes, but I don't think we will. I think if we play the way we played against Greece and Belarus in November, we ain't getting the points that we need.
Yes,
we were extremely lucky.
I would agree with that.
Didn't deserve to win either game.
But my point is, as long as we pick up a point against Greece, that's all that matters.
I don't think we will, though.
I'm saying theoretically we will. The acid test for me is against Denmark. Because I swear to fuck, see if we go into that Denmark game at home just needing to win, and I see a pathetic, toothless performance, i.e. similar to like the Hungary game at the Euros, I won't be fucking happy. Because that is, and I don't know if you've noticed this, but there's a fucking trend. See, when it comes to the second game of the internationals, like the international break, we always tend to be shite. We always tend to be better in the first one. And Denmark's obviously the last game. Think people read too much into that?
No, I'd say so.
No, that I think's not being read enough into is team choice against Belarus. Lennon Miller he gets 10 minutes. Kenny McLean gets 98 minutes. I'm sorry. Well, why? Honest, can you care to...
Why are you sorry?
Because Kenny McLean's been a good servant. And I'm not bashing the guy, but it's time to move on. Our midfield is the one area of the pitch that I would describe as world class. I mean, we've got Ballon d'Or nominees, some great talent coming through, some great guys at the peak of their talent in the Premier League, and Kenny McLean's taking time away from some of them. That doesn't sit right with me. To me, that's unforgivable. And I like Kenny. Good Rangers man, but how he's starting games of football over the likes of Lennon Miller. Even Josh Mulligan got called up. Conor Barron got called up. These are guys that could lead the next generation. Come on.
I think unforgivable's a bit of a stretch, but I mean, we'll just move into it then, why not? So, Group A. Northern Ireland defeated Slovakia by 2-0. Good result for them. Harovsky on goal, and then Hum in the 81st minute. Luxembourg lost 4-0 to Germany. And then on the 13th, 3 days later, a narrow defeat for Northern Ireland, losing to Germany by 1-0, and then Slovakia beating Luxembourg by 2-0. And that just restored Slovakia's 3-point lead that they had over Northern Ireland. So, unfortunately, if we look at the group, you can see that Slovakia have a 3-point lead over Northern Ireland. And that 3-point lead essentially all comes down to the fact that Slovakia beat Germany. And that result, I think in such a short qualification campaign, one bad result like that can go against you. It's not like back in the day when you had 6 teams in the group and you had to play 10 games, or some groups had 7 teams in it and you had to play 12 games. You had time to recover from one bad result, but I think with this new format in these groups of 4, if there is one standout team and you think that you're battling someone else for a second spot, if that team that you're battling can get an upset against the top seeded side, then that straight away is putting you on the back foot, and you pretty much need to be perfect. And I just don't think Northern Ireland are going to do it. Now, I think in their last 2 games, they've taken on, I believe, Slovakia and Luxembourg.
I actually think it's looking really good for them. You want to know why it's looking good for them?
Yeah, I don't think...
Because if they get a draw against Slovakia, the goal difference is close. All they need is Germany to beat Slovakia and for them to easily get past Luxembourg. It could be looking worse, is what I'm saying. Honestly, if Northern Ireland get a draw against Slovakia, they're favourites for me. Going into that, I mean, come on, you can't look at that final match day and not be like, you know what, if we take a point away, well, they've got to go all out. That Slovakia game, it's all or nothing. A win, fantastic, but I don't think a point's bad. I think a point's pretty good.
Well, I mean, I guess the goal difference is irrelevant, really, because it won't really matter at the end of the day. I don't think, because if Northern Ireland win, they have to at least win by 1. If Slovakia lose, they have to at least lose by 1. So, if Northern Ireland draw, all they need to do is beat Luxembourg and hope that Germany beat Slovakia. But we've already seen Slovakia beat Germany once. And
if it goes on goals scored, they'll be looking alright as well, because they're already ahead.
Yeah, but if Slovakia get a draw and Germany will only need a draw going into the last game, so that could be a disaster for them. I just think they're unfortunate. You know, had Germany beat Slovakia in the opening game, like I think we all expected them to do, then obviously they'd be on 6 points apiece, and Northern Ireland would have a much better chance. But look, we'll see. Can they get a draw against Slovakia? Why not? They beat them 2-0 at Windsor Park. We'll see. We'll see. Obviously, a win for Northern Ireland against Slovakia would put them in pole position. Absolutely. Defeat eliminates them. A draw, I think they'd take a draw right now. They'd snatch your hands off for a draw. But we'll see what happens in terms of top goal scorers in this group. Kind of dominated by the Germans at the moment. You've got Gnabry and Kimmich, both on 2 goals each, and then
the 1 goal club.
Not a lot really else happening in the rest. I think you look at teams that have. I think all football teams have declined over like the last 5 years.
Hold on. Has that been updated? Because Slovakia's only got 2 goals.
Yeah, well,
that mustn't be updated. So that's kind of irrelevant looking at that. There's no way they've only got 2 goals.
Well, either way, maybe it's no. I don't know. Maybe it's no bit updated, but I mean, who really cares at the end of the day? The group table's updated, so that's all that matters, right? Let's move into Group B then. So, we've got Kosovo 0, Slovenia 0, Sweden 0, Switzerland 2, then Slovenia 0, Switzerland 0, and Sweden 0, Kosovo 1. What the fuck has happened to Sweden? Used to be a team that you'd associate with World Cups and Euros. Don't get me wrong, never really thought Sweden were going to win anything. But they were a team that you kind of would always expect to be there, and they were a team that you'd think would always give the big teams a game. And right now they can't even give the wee teams a game. Very poor performance for Sweden. Really struggling at the moment. A bit like myself and my throat. But anyway, looks like Kosovo could be on their way to getting a playoff spot. I mean, I wouldn't rule them out the top spot right now, but I still think Switzerland will have more than enough. They haven't even conceded a goal yet. So
I'm looking at some of these playoff teams, and if Steve Clark, say he fails to get top spot, I'm licking my lips. I think they're looking quite tasty.
Well, I mean, even if Slovenia or Sweden even came back and got second spot in this group, I wouldn't be fearing them.
No. Yeah, I think that, honestly, man, I look at all these groups, and I mean, I think maybe apart from the Italy group, if we finish second, we are by far the best second place team. That's what I would say.
I mean, I look at Kosovo, and since their 4-0 defeat in the first game, they have yet to concede a goal. So they lost 4-0 to Switzerland, then beat Sweden 2-0, drew with Slovenia 0-0, and then beat Sweden again 1-0. So it just goes to show you that how different this group would be. Had Sweden beat Kosovo in the head-to-head games, then Sweden would be on 7 and Kosovo would be on 1.
Ifs and buts, my friend. Kosovo dealing absolutes. They're second.
So if we look at the final round of fixtures, Kosovo have Switzerland at home and Slovenia away. I think that Slovenia will still be hoping to get second spot. Slovenia, if they beat Kosovo, they'll bring it down to 1, and then they'll probably fancy Switzerland's chances of getting something. So I think Slovenia will still be looking to finish second. As for Sweden, I just don't see it happening. They need to go away to Basel and get a win against Switzerland just to give themselves any chance. I'm not seeing it. I think this is between Kosovo and Slovenia.
Yeah, Sweden are ranked rotten, man. It's weird though. I wouldn't. I mean, yeah, they've lost Zlatan over the years, but it's not like Alexander Isak's shite. They've also got, on paper, they've still got a decent team, but their manager, I remember he was slabbering about Rangers back when Malmo knocked Rangers at the Champions League. So fuck him, he got sacked. Get it right, Ronan.
All right. Well, anyway, guys, the group that kind of matters. 9th October. Denmark 6, Belarus 0. Massive win for Denmark. Belarus just not that great, let's be honest. I think we've definitely seen better Belarus sides than this. I think that right now they're really bad. What bothers me is, though, I mean, Denmark were up against the full strength Belarus side and they win 6-0. On the 12th October, we took on the Belarus under-21s team, essentially, considering that majority of them didn't have visas, and we only sneaked a 2-1 win. And this is the diff. I mean, look at Denmark smashing Belarus away. And I get it, technically it's not really away, it's a neutral game, but at least we had home advantage, and we sneaked past with a narrow 2-1 win. Didn't really deserve to win either, by the way. Just bogging. Absolutely fucking bogging. Anyway.
Andy Robertson's done, by the way. I think we need to have this uncomfortable conversation. The guy doesn't have what it takes anymore, especially to play 98 minutes. Why Clark left him? I mean, he's the reason we conceded the goal, for fuck's sake. Guy's legs are done. He was losing like yards of pace by the minute.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about that in a minute. So Denmark beating Belarus 6-0, then we beat Greece 3-1. That was an absolute robbery. Listen, of course I'm happy that we won, but it's just, you can't get that excited when you're literally stealing victories. And that's what it felt like to me. It felt like we stole that. Can't sit here and go, oh, it was a good 3-1 performance, or it was a good result, we deserved it. We didn't. We were really shit, and we somehow... I'm not even saying Greece were great, but if you reverse the roles here, and we played the way Greece played, and Greece played the way we played, and they beat us, you'd be sitting here sick.
Yes, but it's
you'd
also...
be thinking, how have we lost to someone that was so fucking shit?
No, it's also the context though, right? Because you look at this and you think, why are you being so negative, Fog Football? If this is the last match day and we come back and overturn it and finish top spot, then it's a whole different kettle. It's like that Man City QPR game, right? If that's like match day 18, think anyone gives a fuck about Aguero's goal? Or the performance? No, they don't care because they got over the fucking line, and it's the same here. You've got to call out because these two performances across these 2 days scare me for November. Like you said at the start, you can't replicate these 2 performances and expect to go through. People can bang on about Greece, or they won't care. They'll be out. Right, they're out. Their manager could also be out. They could play with no pressure. They could have a new guy in. I'm worried about that game.
If we perform the way we performed over these 2 games, if we do the exact same performance next month, we ain't getting the required points that we need to top this group. Not a chance. There's no way we're going to get lucky on 2 occasions again. Denmark beat Greece by 3-1, and then this sets up the group looking like this. Denmark and Scotland both guaranteed at least a playoff. So, I mean, that's good. Greece eliminated. Belarus eliminated. Denmark, the far superior goal difference. So, it's going to come down to the Denmark game. If we can get something against Greece, if we draw against Greece and beat Denmark, we are through. If beating Greece is really irrelevant, because I expect Denmark to beat Belarus anyway, so that's not going to matter a difference. And it's not like we can beat Greece by more goals then Denmark beat. No, I mean we're 6 behind anyway, so that's gone.
But not the
Now,
thing.
maybe if Steve Clark had set us up to attack, and if we could have put 6-7 past Belarus, then maybe I'd be sitting here going, well, you know what?
I can't. No, see his fucking attitude though before the game, because the guy asked him here, when does tonight, like if we go 1-0 up, when does it become about goal difference? And Clark's like, oh well, I just once you said I just switched off. I'm not listening to you. You listen here, you ignorant B, right? You goal difference fucking matters. See the fact that we've played 4 games now, and we've played Belarus twice, and we actually got a good, like, on paper, 3-1 against Greece is fantastic because it's +2. We should have a higher goal difference than Denmark based on the fact we've played Belarus twice. They've only played them once.
But look at Belarus, as you can compare them, because Belarus have played 2 games away, 2 games at home, and, well, 2 games away and 2 neutral games, and we've played them neutral and away. When we played them away, we beat them 2-0. Denmark played them away, beat them 6-0. And then in the neutral game, we played them in a neutral venue, we beat them 2-1. Greece played them in a neutral venue and beat them 5. You know, it's insane.
Do you not think, though, that's a very ignorant comment for him, saying that it doesn't matter about goal difference? You're saying the reporter's dealing on an if. Yo, there is nothing wrong with thinking going into that game at Hampden. I mean, yeah, away in Belarus, away games are always naturally a bit tricky, right? But see at home at Hampden, there is nothing wrong with going into it thinking, yeah, we should be adding 4, 5, 6 goals to the goal difference here.
No, but away from home, we beat Belarus by 4 goals less than Denmark did, and at home we beat Belarus by 3 goals less than Greece did. I mean, that's not a coincidence. We're struggling to beat Belarus, whereas Greece and Denmark are destroying them. And that's why our goal difference is like that. Anyway, honestly, I think the only decent performance we put in was the Denmark game.
And even that game, you know, a point away in Copenhagen, it's good, right? But I said during that review that the game was there to be won. The Danes were having an off night, and he just didn't go for it. I understand why he didn't go for it, but see how much better you'd be sitting here if we were sitting on 12 and they were sitting on 9?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's just, listen. Hopefully we can do it. Like, but I'm not convinced.
No, but it's just one of those things. We've regressed. See, 2 years ago when we took on Spain, we didn't scrape a win again. We fucking battered Spain, and then even away, we got fucking robbed in that game. By the way, the McTominay free kick. We went toe to toe with a Spain team and didn't look out of place. Yeah, rode your luck in places, but that's football. See, we just don't play well anymore. Clark should have left after the last Euros and someone else should have come in.
Alright, Group D. Iceland lost in an 8-goal thriller against Ukraine. Bad result for them. France beat Azerbaijan 3-0. Then Iceland drew at home with France 2-2 and Ukraine beat Azerbaijan 2-1. And that sets up the league table to look like this then. Ukraine leapfrog Iceland. France have pretty much qualified at this stage, I would say. And it will probably be a shootout between Ukraine and Iceland to get that second spot. If we look at the last 2 games, France take on Ukraine, and then Ukraine take on Iceland. I expect Iceland to beat Azerbaijan,
which leaves a 1-game shootout.
If France beat Ukraine, that'll leave them level in points, and then it will come down to Ukraine, Iceland, and yeah, that should be a good game there. But I think Iceland will be disappointed they lost 5-3.
Yeah, that's a crazy scoreline. 8 goals.
Anyway, let's move on to the next one. Group E, we've got Turkey beating Bulgaria by 6-1. Massive. Spain then beat Georgia 2-0. Turkey then beat Georgia 4-1. And Spain beat Bulgaria by 4-0 as well.
A lot of goals in this group.
There is, and that means Turkey are looking good for second spot. Spain, I imagine, will qualify. Bulgaria are absolutely bogging. 1 goal in 4 games.
Yeah, I don't know what's happened to Bulgaria. Remember that? Was it Euro 2020 when Turkey were considered dark horses and they just lost all 3 games? That was crazy, but I mean, that's a group again. See, look, I know Spain are better than what they were 2 years ago, but it's crazy to think we actually battered Spain.
Aye, anyway, I don't think we'd batter them now, that's for sure.
Nope.
Group F. Hungary 2, Armenia 0, Portugal 1, Republic of Ireland 0. Then Ireland beat Armenia by 1-0. And Hungary fucked my bet by scoring a late equaliser against Portugal. Ronaldo got 2 goals, and then it was Sobalasi with the 91st minute
Bullseye,
equaliser.
mate.
That's the one, Sobalasi. I'm glad one of us can pronounce Hungarian names, that's great. And that result then will leave the group looking like this, with 2 games to go. You know, pretty close. I wouldn't say this, I wouldn't rule any of these teams out just yet. Portugal are obviously going to top the group, and it depends on what order Hungary, Republic, and Armenia will finish.
Well, I mean, I think it's safe to say I think it's going to finish exactly the way it is.
I mean, it probably will, and again, I look back to that second game where Ireland lost to Armenia. I'm not saying Armenia is a gimme, but had Ireland won that, I mean, they'd be in a much better position, wouldn't they? They'd be on 7 points, and they'd be looking pretty good. Now, Ireland have still got Portugal to play and Hungary away, so yeah, I'm not seeing it.
I mean, if you somehow get out of match day 5 with the group still alive, then you never know going into the last one. But for me, they're out.
I mean, well, I think Ireland are needing basically Armenia to beat Hungary, or at least draw with them.
Yeah,
which could happen. To be fair, I wouldn't rule that out.
And like you said, Armenia are still in it. It's not like they're just going to fucking roll over.
Yep. So we'll see what happens. That's what's happening with Group F. Group G: Finland 2, Lithuania 1, Malta 0, Netherlands 4, Netherlands 4, Finland 0, and Lithuania 0, Poland 0. And in terms of that group, then we have the Netherlands sitting top with 16 points. Then it's Poland with 13. Then you got Finland, Lithuania, and Malta. Finland, due to their goal difference, will not be able to do anything, so the top 2 there pretty much confirmed. Can Poland overtake the Netherlands? I'm not really sure. We'll have a look here. I mean, Poland have got Holland, but even at the goal I just don't see it happening because they're 3 behind. Even if they do beat Holland, they're not going to overturn that goal difference, and then Holland have Lithuania. So
again, I look at
that top 2 is going to finish the way it is.
Like I look at Poland, and I wouldn't be too worried about Poland in a playoff.
No. I think we've got a better team than Poland.
Yeah,
I mean, I wish we had Lewandowski as a striker, but
it's like you look at these other groups. I mean, Hungary again. Like to me, we fucking balled it against them in the Euros. I wouldn't be. I'm yet to see a team so far that's going to probably finish second. And I'm like, oh fuck.
Yeah. Alright. Group H: Austria 10, San Marino 0, Cyprus 2, Bosnia 2, San Marino 0, Cyprus 4, and Romania 1, Austria 0. That is the scorelines in that group. And then you can see there, Austria looking good for qualification, 15 points, Bosnia on 13, Romania on 10. It's going to be tight. I expect Austria to go through. Look at the remaining fixtures then. We've got Austria against Cyprus, Bosnia against Romania, and Austria with a home tie against but so I mean, look, Bosnia could take it to the final game, of course, if they do beat Romania. But I still expect Austria to go through. I think they'll have enough to see this group off. But we'll see.
No, they will. But again, I don't fear that group either.
No, I'd take whoever finishes second in that. Right, up next we've got Group I. It was Norway 5, Israel 0. Then Estonia 1, Italy 3. Then Estonia 1, Moldova 1, and Italy 3, Israel 0. And I think that's going to put an end to Israel, who were doing okay up until this round of fixtures, but they lost both. Italy won both of theirs. And yeah, that puts them 6 points clear.
I'll tell you what,
that's Israel eliminated.
Norway's goal difference, they've won the group, haven't they? I mean, the fact that they are 16 ahead of fucking Italy is insane.
Well, I mean, let's see the last couple of fixtures. Norway's going to beat Estonia, so that's done. Doesn't really matter what happens in the last. Italy's not going to turn that around. Haaland's got 12 goals alone. That's insane.
Although, what you could say is, if Italy fucking scud Moldova as much as Norway did, that brings it back into play a bit.
Yeah, but they're just not. They're just...
Right, Italy though, do you fear them?
Aye. Right. Group...
But what I would say, honestly man, it's like, if Norway can top that group, then that proves Italy have got a weakness.
It does. Group I, Kazakhstan 4, Liechtenstein 0, Belgium 0, North Macedonia 0. This gave Wales a chance then going into the next round of games, and I can't help feel that both North Macedonia and Wales have bottled this to some degree. North Macedonia, after getting a draw in Belgium, could not beat Kazakhstan at home. That's a bad result.
It is.
And then Wales fell 4-2 to Belgium. And that, to me, will see Belgium pretty much guarantee their safety now. They have 14 points. North Macedonia had to beat Kazakhstan, would have been on 15. So that's shit for them. But that keeps that result keeps Wales.
But that 2 points
check.
was fucking crucial.
Yeah.
For North Macedonia. That's actually they fucking bottled that, by the way.
No, that's why I did.
Yeah, no, but Wales play Liechtenstein next, which is going to be 3 points. But if it was 5, they'd be. Honestly, man, North Macedonia. I think North Macedonia is the type of team we'd go out in the playoffs to.
Right, and if we look at the two remaining games, then it's Belgium against Kazakhstan, Wales against Liechtenstein. So if Wales can beat Liechtenstein, they will go level with North Macedonia, and then Wales have got North Macedonia in the final game. So Belgium have 2 games remaining. I expect that they will now qualify, but you're thinking it's going to come down to North Macedonia and Wales. Now, North Macedonia have the better goal difference, but Wales will have home advantage. It's going to be a winner-take-all, really. As long as Wales get the job done against, I believe it's Liechtenstein they play.
Who haven't scored a goal.
So, I expect Wales to beat Liechtenstein, and then it will be a shootout in Cardiff. North Macedonia, Wales. Be an interesting game.
Be a tasty one. Indeed.
Might watch that one. Keyword being might. Right, Group K. Group K, Latvia 2, Andorra 2, Serbia 0, Albania 1, Andorra 1, Serbia 3, and Latvia 0, England 5.
Could England have got an easier group, right? Because I look at this and I'm thinking, right, Latvia, pish, Andorra, pish, Albania, pish, and then Serbia, who I thought were decent, look fucking rank rotten. I mean, no, seriously, how have Serbia played 6 games and only scored 7 in this group?
Not sure, but there you go. There's what it looks like. England sitting top, 18 goals scored, 0 conceded, 6 wins out of 6, looking dominant. You've got Albania in second, Serbia in third place, 1 point between them. It's a shootout between Albania and Serbia. Both got 2 games left to play.
As long as we don't get Italy, we're at the World Cup.
Now, both Albania and Serbia have England. So, I would say, based on those fixtures, you've got to fancy Albania. Because they're taking on Andorra. Andorra's I'd say Andorra's away is a much easier game than Latvia at home.
Yep.
And then I'm just going to assume that England then beat both Serbia and Albania. Plus Albania have a point advantage over Serbia. So I think Albania's getting second here.
Yeah, it's looking that way, and we'll take that because that makes it easier for us if we drew them.
There's a lot of teams draw them.
That's what I mean, That's what I mean, come on. Play the game.
Well,
hopefully this group doesn't shaft this way.
Well, you used a past tense, like, I was like, what? Anyway, right, group, is that group? Is that L? Group L. Croatia 0, Czech Republic 0, Faroe Islands 4, Montenegro 0, Faroe Islands 2, Czech Republic 1, and Croatia 3, Gibraltar 0. Now, I think the Czech Republic failing to beat Croatia, that was pretty much going to rule them out of getting top spot, but if they were still trying, then the defeat against Faroe Islands has certainly ruled that out.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, you can now see the gap between the teams is 3 points, with Croatia still got an extra game. So
look at Faroe Islands.
Yeah, Faroe Islands now, I mean, they'll be thinking, hold on, can we do something? Well, let's see, can they do something? Faroe Islands, Croatia away, I doubt it. Yeah. Czech Republic against Gibraltar, nah, I'm not seeing it.
Sorry, Faroe Islands, it's no happening.
Almost got their hopes up, guys, but there you go. That is it. We go back here to teams qualified. Here's your list. Here's the teams that will be at the World Cup. And you got some teams here showing up for the first time. You know, Uzbekistan, you got Jordan, Cape Verde. So, some shite teams that...
It's a really shite World Cup. I just hope we're there.
Yeah, I think 32, and I get it, I agree over the years, expanding tournaments, but I think they had it at the sweet spot. World Cup used to be what? Was it not, when the World Cup started, was it not first 8?
Yep.
And then it went to 12, and then it went to 16, and then you got the jump to 32. I think they had it perfect. I think the Euros being 16, and the World Cup being 32, and the Euros being half the participants of the World Cup, I think that was the perfect
what you
format.
what you run the risk of here is getting a game like Uzbekistan versus fucking Cape Verde. I mean, that's just bogging. Nobody wants that.
I don't know, due to the world rankings, can we get that? But I get your point.
Yeah, but well, I mean, alright, a wee better one than that. Iran versus Cape Verde then, because Iran will be relatively high up.
Yeah, I think that's more likely, and I don't know. And also, I just don't think 3-team groups are going to work very well.
What the fuck is it, 3-team groups?
Aye.
So what, it's 16? That's bogging.
16, 16, 16.
And only... So how does that work then? Who goes through?
It's the top... Was it the top 2?
Top 24?
No, it's...
What the fuck's going on here?
48 is 16 groups of...
So the top 16 go through?
No, it ain't top 16. There's 16 groups of 3.
Right.
Right. I think it's the top... just the top team that goes through?
Right, and then what about the other teams?
Well, they're eliminated, aren't they? Or it's either top 2 or it's top 1. And then have a knockout. Obviously, the knockout rate stages will be made up of either 32 teams or 16 teams. I'm not entirely sure.
No, but could we not theoretically be looking at the best teams here? Say England, the only European team in, right? Could England not be looking at a group of Cape Verde and Iran? Is that no fucking boggy?
No, it is. Trying to get confirmation here.
Well, that looks like 4 groups to me.
Or maybe it's for the next World Cup then. Well, thank God for that. Could be for the next World Cup.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. So the knockout rounds will be 32 teams. That's actually a lot, isn't it? 32 in the knockout rounds. So we're going to be getting...
How long's this tournament lasting?
So hold on, you got 48 teams, and you split that into 4. So that gives you 12 groups.
Yep.
So you got top 2 going through in 12, that's 24, then you need 8 runner. So it's pretty much like the Euros where out of the 12 groups, 8 of the third place teams will go through. So they've made the World Cup's essentially... The World Cup is just the Euros now. It's kind of the exact same format of the Euros, but the only difference is you get slightly more teams, and it's the whole world and just not Europe. They're making it incredibly easy to make it into the knockout stages now of these competitions, and I don't like that.
I'm not taking the piss, man, right? See, if we get there, we have to be getting through. We have to be. Because we are not going to be, ranked-wise in the bottom 12. Not a chance. Or bottom 16. We'll call it bottom 16. Come on. We'll know more when the actual groups are made, but Steve Clark first needs to get us there, but he's also got to deliver when we're there.
I just don't like this, and it also makes it's becoming impossible now for the big teams not to...
Nah, but that's what they want.
First of all, they've made it impossible for the big teams almost not to qualify, and now it's going to be impossible for the big teams not to make it to the knockout rounds. See, when it's only top 2 going through and you've got less teams and it's better quality teams, if you have a bad opening first game, then it's going to be hard to turn it around. But see now, it's like... And I get it, they're going to say, it's less dead rubbers, but we could see situations where you've got 2 teams going into the final game and both teams have lost their opening 2 matches in the World Cup, but they know that a win will get them through, and it's like, I don't think that should be the case.
Yeah. No.
I think in a group stage in a World Cup, 2 defeats should eliminate you.
Yeah, but now you can be rewarded with... we see in the Euros, you can get fucking 3 points and go through.
Anyway, that's it, guys. Let us know your thoughts down below. I'm pretty sure then it's the 2030 World Cup that it's going to have groups of 3, I believe.
Which is weird. Very weird.
I hope that doesn't happen. But anyway, guys, that's it. Till next. Or maybe they originally planned it to be groups of 3 and they thought, no, that's not going to work. That certainly wouldn't work.
No, you're right though.
You can't have the final fixture. I mean, how? Just wouldn't make any sense.
And it would feel like a ridiculous amount of time between games. Because it's free. You can't play two sets of 4. Wouldn't work.
No, wouldn't work, guys. Anyway, 2030 World Cup. Hopefully that's not happening there.
But is that Saudi?
I don't think it's been decided yet, has it? Looks like a joint combination of Spain, Morocco, and Portugal.
La la la. Why not just let fucking Spain host it? Honestly, what's the fucking point?
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of these joint World Cups. Anyway, guys, that's it. Till next time. Peace.